Welcome to another episode of Kaylin's Lens, unscripted and unfiltered. I am so beyond excited for today's episode, where we really get to delve in, deep dive into one of my topics that I really felt like I have really become learnt and understood about what it was that made me reach that point in my life, but also what steps I've taken to prevent me from getting to that stage again. And one of those things is burnout. That is what this episode's all about. In December of last year, I begun to become very burnt out. I was exhausted, I was unmotivated, and I was just simply emotionally drained. Life just was not fun. Everything felt heavy, even the smallest of tasks, like getting out of bed, going for a shower, doing my food shop. And it became to a point where I just didn't feel excited about life. I didn't want to live life. I didn't want to be living the life that I was living, which I feel like for a lot of people is like so selfish because I was in London. I was in the busiest, like best city that I could ever want to be in, living the London dream, so to speak, at uni, doing a degree that so many people could dream of doing. Like I was just so happy to be in that place, but I was just so burnt out because looking back, I just didn't take care of my inner world. I had no boundaries. I adopted so many poor habits and I had no structure whatsoever. And now I understand that burnout isn't about actually like doing a lot of work, but it's doing work that doesn't fulfill you and doesn't add purpose. It's doing things that are about not living in alignment with yourself. And so you have to just take a second to just think, is there anything in your life that isn't doing that for you, isn't giving you a drive and a passion and purpose? I can speak of one right now, and that's my own job. For me, my job isn't giving me purpose, isn't giving me passion, isn't giving me fuel. And I'm such a risk taker that I know that if I was to leave the job, everything can still be fine. Like I'll have the money covered, everything's covered. But it's just the fact of the whole, what if there's no other job going to be available because the whole job market, I think that always plays on my mind. And I think in the next month, I really, really am going to take a executive decision on whether I continue in my current employment, or I find something that better suits me and aligns with me. And I think I have to make that decision quickly because if I don't, I will reach that position again, and I know I will because I come back from work now and I just feel really shitty. I don't know what it is. I just don't feel passionate by it. It's just nothing there. And it's depleting coming back. And I know that might begin to seep in to other aspects of my life, which I just don't want it to. And so I really know in myself that the decision I will take will be a hard one and a difficult one, but I know it'll be the one that's right for me. And so I want you to think just like, when was the last time that you felt that depleted? And what do you think caused it? What was the thing that made you get to that position? And what was it that allowed you to just self-reflect and prevent that from happening again? Or maybe you're beginning to experience it and recognize and see the signs, and you just don't want it to happen again. Because burnout doesn't come from one thing, it's a build-up. Your lifestyle choices all feed into it. From what you eat to how you move, the toxins within your home, the toxins within your environment, to the content you're consuming online, the people who you surround yourself with, everything. Everything within your life can drain your energy. The lack of sleep, the ultra processed foods. Oh my God, there's so many things that I could talk about that simply are going to drain your life. And it's about that realization and taking that 1 or 2 days to just evaluate every aspect of your life. Because everything you do either fuels your energy or takes from it. Because your mind, body, and mood are all connected. So take that 1 to 2 days and just really self reflect on every aspect. Your morning routine, is there anything in that that isn't giving me value? To what I'm doing during the day, is my job not actually giving me purpose? And I feel like I'm just in a position now where I'm just disengaged. It's not giving me what I want. But I know I have to have the job to pay the bills, to put food on the table. So Is it the toxins within your home? Are there certain habits like plastic bottles because of microplastics? Or is it who you surround yourself with? Like the people around you just aren't adding value to your life. Are there any certain things that are really just knitting, gritting, like getting at you? And you realize that for me to be able to live a life of alignment and within myself, I have to make these changes. So, what daily habit could actually be draining you and draining your energy? And one thing I want to be honest that has really, really helped is creating a routine that is bespoke for me. But creating simple habits make a huge difference. For me, laying out my clothes the night before and deciding my outfit saves so much energy the next day. Packing my bag at the night before saves me so much energy because I'm not deciding what I need to take and it's all ready. Planning my meals a week in advance so I can do a food shop and make sure I have the goods in so I can get a good week's worth of actual meals and saves me money from having to get takeaways and having to then have ultra processed foods, and I can still have that balance of evenings where I'll go to a Nando's and I'll have a cheeky Nando's, or I'll have a Domino's because I really want a Domino's. Like I still give myself that time, but creating simple habits allow you to reduce decision fatigue and help you feel so calm and prepared. Because you have to be intentional. You cannot overcommit. It's doing fewer things gives you more focus. Doing less things gives you more focus. Doing fewer things gives you more focus. It's just simple. It's like I've said it 3 times in one way, but it's having that focus on that one task and putting your all into that task because you know that everything else is set out in stone. And because productivity isn't about everything and doing everything, it's about doing what matters most. It's about getting your uni work because you're in a degree that you feel passionate about. It's about doing and listening to doing the things that fulfill you, like seeing your friends. Because when I'm with my friends, I want to be present. I don't want distractions. When I'm with my family, I don't anymore want to just have to do uni work. I want to spend that time with my family and have that connection. It's about what actually matters to you. So, what is one small system that you could set up that would make your days flow smoother and make you feel more connected to your soul and in alignment with who you are as a person? One thing that I also didn't ever adopt during that time in December last year was movement. I wasn't really ever bothered about hitting 10,000 steps. I wasn't bothered about gym and going to the gym for the mental side. I wasn't bothered about any of that, and I didn't do any of that. For me, I wasn't even bothered about stretching my muscles or, you know, any form of exercise just was never in me. But for me, movement became medicine. Getting my 10,000 steps in a day, going to the gym, stretching, meditation, just everything. It became a form of meditation in itself, just getting my 10,000 steps in. Going to a park, seeing nature, seeing animals, and doing all that, even though I'm not a big fan of animals, but just doing those things allowed me time to think, gave me time to breathe and just slow down. Because nature helps you reset. It's one of the best ways to just reconnect with yourself, reconnect with who you are and what's in alignment with yourself. And so having the things that give you value is essential. So I really want you to just think, because it was really hard for me was to think like when the last time that I had actually spent time in nature without any distractions. So for you, when was the last time that you had spent time in nature and you had no distractions whatsoever? Because for a lot of people that's hard because you're either listening to a podcast with your phone or you're scrolling on TikTok and you're not really embracing the surroundings. And so for me, I can quite literally say last Sunday, I went to Richmond Park with one of my closest. And it was like we hardly spent any time on our phones. We weren't distracted whatsoever. We really allowed ourselves to just have conversations with each other, embrace the scenery, see the different things. And it was just so fulfilling because we just wasn't distracted about the outside world. We wasn't concerned about what was going on. It became a form of medicine and it became really relieving because I was able to spend that quality time with my friends, go to a cute little restaurant and have a quick little brunch. It was just incredible. And so I really know the value of it. And that's the essential part is the value. Is the value of walking in nature, is the value of doing something that feels in alignment with you. So take those steps and take that day and take it even today to just go and on a walk without your phone or put your phone in your bag or in your pocket and just do not get it out. Do not listen to music and just become so aware of your surroundings. And I also really feel like I want to speak about burnout as well in terms of passion and purpose because it isn't about doing too much, it's about doing what feels meaningless and it's doing things that are just meaningless. Jay Shetty simply says it's not the hours that burn us out, it's the empty hours which do. So ask yourself, does your work align with your values? And if it doesn't, you have to find something that does. And for me, I'm in that same position. My work doesn't align with my values, and now I'm in the position now to look for things that do. Because when you do something that lights you up, hard work feels energizing. For me, when I do a law application, that lights me up because even though it's hard work and I have not mastered it whatsoever, I get rejected all the time, which is like so, like I really want to go to the event. But it's like I realize now when I'm actually making mistakes, it actually creates energy within me. It makes me feel like, oh my God, I'm so determined for this. I know what I want. I know what I need to do to improve. And learning grit and endurance because you have to make sure that you have that endurance to just keep going, even though it can feel tough. Because having that fuels you. So you look at your week and look at the time. Does what you're spending your time on actually feel meaningful to you? And if it doesn't, find something that does. And another thing that I feel like not a lot of people want to speak about, or I feel like it is becoming a lot more well known, is just mindfulness and journaling because it allows you to just slow down and reconnect within yourself. Gratitude journaling, telling yourself what you are like thankful for, who you're thankful for, what experience you're thankful for. Meditating in the morning or in the evening and just checking in with yourself. How do you actually feel right now? Doing all of these things allows your heart to just relax and allows you to just see who you are and what you want to do and where you want to be. Because it's all about intention. It's about intentional living. It's about being intentional with what you're consuming, the content, the people, the media. It's about creating this space of happiness, this space of journal within you and reconnecting within your inner world. And for me, things that have allowed me to actually incorporate them into my life and have that time to do that is by reducing my screen time, is unfollowing people that just make me want to compare myself to them or don't actually add anything to my life or are not valuing anything within me. And I did spend a lot of time really feeling harsh about that because I was in a position where these people, yeah, I've known them for so long, but they're just not, the connection's not there or the content isn't what I want to be seeing. And so, what could you remove from your digital world yourself that would allow you to bring yourself more peace? And it would allow you to make the steps of gratitude journaling, meditation, asking yourself, like, how do you actually feel? Like, what could you do to just remove those things in your digital world? And another thing that I feel like has definitely helped is my social energy and environment. Because your circle shapes your mindset. Your circle shapes your energy. Who you surround yourself with dictates what you become. It's a fact. If you're hanging around with a group of smokers, you're likely to become a smoker. If you're hanging around with a group of people that vape, you're likely to become the next vapor. If you hang around with the people that aren't work driven, aren't ambitious, you're not going to be ambitious yourself. If you hang around with people that are ambitious, are energizing, are talking about businesses, are wanting to invest, are wanting to talk about how to level up and grow money, you're most likely wanting to be around and do that yourself. And so, are your nights out actually serving you? Or are you just going out for the sake of pleasing others? These are all things you have to consider because you need to be with people that give you light and growth. Because your nights out might actually be serving you because you know these people are giving you light or growth, but is it actually what you want to be doing? Do you really want to be going out? Is it actually draining you? And I think a hard thing that a lot of us have is saying no. But protecting your peace is a powerful self-respect. And it's really weird for me because I'm at a point in my life where I've never really drunk often. I can say this year I have drunk twice. I remember both days, regret it because I feel like it's become such a normalized thing. Like alcohol and over socializing can be so normalized in today's society, especially at uni, but it can often drain your energy. And I think that's a hard thing that people don't want to have a conversation about, is it can drain your energy. And it can just take so much away from you because you don't have that time to just be with yourself and do the things you want to do. So ask yourself, who in your life actually recharges you and who is draining you? Because I can tell you so many people that were in my life that were draining me, and removing them from my life literally led to deeper, better connections with people that are in alignment and people that have common interests and ambitious and work driven, and we actually have more valuable and deeper conversations. And I've created that environment where I have that boundaries with my friends that I don't want to overstep the mark now. And I don't want to ruin the relationship because I've overstepped and I've overindulged on their boundaries that they've created. And so having that transformative position and being in that mindset of understanding them and understanding each other is everything. And having that environment is key. And another part that I feel like really, really helps in creating those friendships is all about self-love and self-respect and growth. Because burnout prevention is self-love in practice. Because setting priorities, making sure you get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, and just choosing things that align with you and decisions that align with you allows you to create a life of authenticity and a life of pure health. I don't know how else to say it, but pure health. Health within your soul, health within your mind, your body, your ability to do things. Because being your own biggest supporter and your own honest critic is everything. Having that self-respect to know that you don't want to go out and you don't want to do those things. And having the courage to be like, well, I did get certain things wrong. Because every failure is a lesson. And it's like, well, I do regret not going out that night. Okay, well, I'll go out this night instead. And it's just having those things that are within your life to understand that it's not a failure. I didn't fail because I didn't go out. I didn't fail because I prioritized rest instead of going out. I didn't fail because I didn't like that post, or I didn't fail because I got something wrong. Every failure is a lesson. Every instance that you do these things allows you to learn and allows you to grow and allows you to just keep doing new things every single week. Whether that be for me, like going to a new cafe or a restaurant, doing a new activity. Like for me, one thing I really want to do is get back into dance. I don't know what it is. I miss it so much and I just haven't done it in a really long time, apart from like dance in my bedroom. But you know, like I really want to get back into like contemporary. When I was younger, I was really such a good dancer, which I don't mean in a big-headed way. I just love to dance. And so that's like a whole thing for me. It's like doing the little small things that give me a new experience and a newfound joy of self-love and self-respect and growth for myself. Because I'm obsessed over the quality, not the quantity. I don't need to be doing everything. I don't need to be going to a new cafe every single day. I don't need to be going to a new restaurant every single week. But obsessing over doing less, but doing it well. So when I go to a restaurant, I really want to spend that time in my surroundings, being around my people, being around and having those deeper conversations. I really am not bothered about going to a new restaurant every single day and trying a different place in London. I'm not bothered about going to a new restaurant every single week and trying different things. I'm so much more obsessed over the quality of it because that allows me to grow and learn so much. And so, what would it look like for you if you fully respected your time and your energy? What would it look like for you if you fully respected your time, your energy, and your self-worth? And I feel like it all kind of links in, and this all kind of, I really want to just like summarize this up into a dopamine driven world of constant scrolling and instant gratification. But real fulfillment within yourself comes from slow, consistent effort, not quick hits. Preventing burnout comes from taking small, actionable steps that have compounded over time. Because manifestation isn't just saying something and hoping it comes true, it's aligned with action and discipline. And I feel like to prevent burnout, you want to be a student of life. You want to just always be learning and reflecting and improving. And that's just my personal perspective. Like, I really want to just love learning about different elements of business or psychology or how to be a partner in a relationship and different emotional, anxious, like attachment styles and anxious or avoidant or secure, just learning about life really prevents me from burning out because I'm constantly in a mode of what is something new that I can do that will give me an extra value? What is something that I can obsess over and obsess of making it something instead of just doing so many little different things that I think will fulfill me but don't? And so having daily actions that are aligned within me allow me to create dopamine in itself. Allow me to just create a life of authenticity and a life of where I don't really care about what your opinions are, but I'm living my life the way that I want to live it. And so, are your daily actions aligned with the life that you say that you actually want, or are they aligned with a life that you believe that you should be living? And I think this entire episode has definitely been a sort of like choppy, different things that you can take. And I feel like you could have stopped at one point, moved on to a different chapter, etc. But burnout really did teach me a lot. And it's mostly that life feels better when you invest in your sanctuary. Your body, your mind, your space, your peace, that is your foundation, that is your core. And this year, I say this year, this academic year, I felt a lot more balanced and a lot more productive. And I feel fulfilled because I've allowed myself to do so much. Because healing burnout isn't about doing less, it's about doing things that matter and it's doing these things intentionally. And so I really need you to think, and I just want you to think, what is one small thing that you can start investing in your sanctuary today that will allow you to prevent burnout, that will allow you to create the life that you have wanted to live? So until next week's episode, please remember to always be investing in your sanctuary and always taking steps that simply add value and simply ensure you live your life to your true authenticity. So until next time, remember, invest within yourself.